So it looks like Bethesda Game Studios, or at least the Montreal branch of the company, is going to be working on a freemium game. All this comes from a job listing source and then a number of other sources building off this original job listing. Regardless, the job listing was posted on ZeniMax Careers. We've had kind of, I don't want to call it leaks, but indications of future projects from this same site in the past, because it basically is reaching out to everyone. Hey, we're looking for this specific role for our game, so that kind of indicates what kind of game they are working on. This one, not so subtly. Basically, the job listing does state in the very first line, Bethesda Game Studios is looking for a manager in game performance to join the Montreal-based team that exceeds the standards and pushes the limits of freemium game development. In this role, you will work with the game team to provide guidelines, evolve and implement monetization strategies, thus targeting the cross between the goal of generating income and the quality of experience of the player. So this job listing really isn't for a developer at all. It's actually looking for someone that majored in commerce or some other business related degree that has a specialization in, monetizing different games. This is pretty interesting. There's a lot to be taken out of this. There's a lot more on this page. I will have it linked down below if you want to look further into it. A lot of the other responsibilities and qualifications, though, are just kind of building around the same idea that it's someone who's meant to look at the playing field and figure out ways to monetize a free game. I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. Obviously, we got Fallout Shelter very recently. I don't think Fallout Shelter was a bad game. It didn't really feel like a cash grab, and to be honest, I spent money personally on it and I really enjoyed it. I don't have any regrets with that game, and I think a lot of people do feel the same way. So now Bethesda might be looking at this as maybe a way to kind of release another partner game. Maybe at this coming E3, they're going to announce a new game. In order to help build up hype and really get people more interested in that, release a mobile game side by side with that and monetize that mobile game, as well as actually getting some free press and advertisement through their mobile game for the larger AAA game to come later on. Another avenue I could see them taking is maybe a new partner game to the Elder Scrolls. Skyrim has been getting a lot of press and news recently. Obviously, with the release of the remastered edition, it did reach new audiences and even a younger generation. I feel like people that are only now just getting into gaming on the new gen of consoles. Maybe this is going to be a effort to kind of reach out even further to that audience, so the next Elder Scrolls game, in addition to appealing to the kind of older audience that grew up with the series, will also appeal to the younger audience. It's pretty important to remember that Skyrim was originally released in 2011. Even a 17-year-old now would only be 11 at that time. That's pretty young to get into a game like Skyrim. Their parents probably didn't even allow them to buy it. As time does go on and the audience does shift, it could be important to kind of get the roots in with some of the younger crowds through a mobile game. Or it could just be one total spin-off, just a one-off mobile game. They saw the success with Fallout Shelter, now they're going to try their hand at something totally original. Obviously, I could speculate all day about what that could be or couldn't be, but I think that's kind of pointless. Regardless, this is pretty interesting. I know some people might not be so excited about a freemium game. I know some other people covering this are kind of shitting on the idea, but I think it's pretty important to go into it with an open mind. Fallout Shelter is a pretty cool game. It's a lot of fun to be had, and I think using that as a good basis for what this game could be is pretty fair, and hopefully Bethesda just follow the same route in making things not super cash grabby. Playing through Fallout Shelter, I didn't feel like I was constantly having dollar signs thrown in front of me trying to get me to spend more and more. It felt like it was done in a pretty reasonable way, and I feel like they made good money that way and still maintain the respect of their audience. That's pretty much it for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll definitely be reading pretty carefully. Maybe we'll see more of this at the C3, coming now only 5 days away, which is pretty crazy. As always, again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.